Where is he? Where is he? Oh, my old mate. Hey! Come on, mate, jump in.
How are we?
Here, hang on, don't move muscle.
Oh, okay. Look at this. This is service, boys.
Sit in, mate, sit in. Jump in.
Oh, even a coffee as well.
Almond latte, half a week. Sugar. There you go, mate.
Sugar? No.
Nah, equal, one equal. When did you make the call that you were done?
So, this is a good one, yeah. So, remember it was World Cup year, right?
Yeah.
So, 13 we won the comp. And we go Sunday night, obviously party with everyone. Monday with the boys, Mad Monday. Tuesday night, remember Frank Craniti threw that party for us. And then Wednesday was our presentation night. So it was another big night. I had a car picking Terry and I up because she was heavily pregnant to go on a baby moon at 5 a.m.
After the presentation?
After presentation night, got home at all hours, hadn't packed a thing. Had to pack to go to the baby. We went to Lizard Island. We spent 5 nights up there. It's beautiful. Just relax, detox a bit. I went from Cairns Airport straight to Sydney Airport. Met the Italian rugby league team at the airport, straight to England. So I had to pack.
So you haven't had
That was just a hectic
how many
week.
months pregnant was
She was due the 7th of December, but we had Azura on the 2nd.
Yep.
So it was a little bit fine. Because
It's a fine line. It's a long way to come back from England if she goes in the labour.
Yeah, 100%. So I got home from presentation night at 3 in the morning. We had a big night, and I had to pack for the baby moon, which is a week on a holiday resort. That was easy. Then I had to pack for England.
Yeah.
When I was, had 3 days on the drink.
Yeah.
Packed for England, and then I went airport over to England.
Yeah.
We get to England, and Dos was there, Ados. My brother, we had a fair team. Cameron Serraldo.
You had a good crack.
We had a great team. Anyway, we played England.
Teddy?
We went to Teddy.
Yeah.
Of course, Teddy was outstanding. He played right centre for us. And
Pretty much
killed it.
made his career. Teddy going over there to England.
Killed it.
Sitting with the mid cut.
So we go to Loughborough and have a training camp, and we land there, have one training session, and 2 nights later we're playing England in a trial match the week before the Cup starts, World Cup starts. And we're playing England. We're thinking, mate, we are going to get pumped.
Yeah.
The Burgess boys, what's the fullback's name that was playing?
Tompkins.
Tompkins. We're going to get pumped here. You wouldn't believe it. We beat them 15-14. McNamara was coach. Craig McNamara was coach, right?
No, Steve
McNamara. Steve McNamara, champion bloke.
No.
We beat them 15-14, and in the second half, Teddy, myself, we all come off and have a rest because especially the ADOS, we all have a rest because we just won the comp, and they still couldn't beat us. It was hilarious. So we thought we won the World Cup, right? So we went on another 3-day bender, and then we roll into game 1 and we win. We beat Wales. Game 2, we play Scotland. We have a draw, and then we play Tonga. And we should have actually won that game. They beat us 12-8. It was really tight. Teddy scores a try and they disallow it and would have won the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's another story. And then I come home, and a week later Terry goes into labour and we have Azura. It was 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I didn't cut it that fine.
What about that 2 month span?
It was the most amazing 2 months in my life.
Yeah.
Anyway, so obviously I had a bit longer period to have off instead of coming back to training. I think Robert gave me until the 12th of January to get back into training.
Yeah.
So I was spending time with the girls at home, First little daughter, amazing, Haggood's life, just amazed by how, Terry gave birth and beautiful and healthy. And I got back into training and I thought, shit, this is hard. I want to be back home. I want to go back home and stare at my daughter all day because, you know the feeling now.
Dad, yep.
And I thought, it's just because I've had my first baby, that's just probably a feeling that will be fine. And the next 2 weeks I started to get fitter, but that feeling was still there, right? I got into the season and that feeling was like, it was there, and I'm like, shit, this is it. This is going to be my last year. I know it. I can just feel it.
Yeah.
And I went home and I chatted to Terry about it. And to be honest, she was like, no, you're playing good football, you can go another year. She wanted me to play another year.
Really?
Yeah. And she was like, no, but Azura will never watch you play football. I said, well, even if I play another year, she's still not going to remember it because she's only 1 or 2, you know, she did 2. But, and so, you know, like I sat on it for ages, you know. I spoke to my family about it.
But you knew?
I knew. I dead set knew from the 4th week of pre-season getting back into it from Jen.
Yeah.
I thought this is the feeling. And you know, you watch people in their retirement speech and they say, when you know, you know.
Yeah.
And the year prior to that, people were like, wait, why don't you retire? Go out a champion, you just won the comp. I was like, well, I still love playing, still love competing, still love training. Why would I do that? You're a long time retired. And then that feeling just come on.
Yeah.
And with 6 weeks to go, or actually with probably 8 weeks to go, I went in and seen Robbo and told him how I was feeling, and we come up with a little plan for the next 2 weeks, and then I announced it to you boys, and we had a press conference, and that was 6 weeks out from the semi-finals.
Yep.
And I remember, you know, we're shooting for back-to-back, and I'm going to ask you about your experience going back-to-back 18 and 19 soon, but we were shooting for back-to-back premierships. And remember that last 6 weeks, we started to turn it on.
Yeah.
We were ripe.
Yeah.
We were going for the hard.
Yeah.
And game 1 of the first semi-final series, semi-final series, game 1, we have a hiccup. We lose to Penrith, which we should have never probably lost to Penrith, but they played us in the end.
Yeah.
And that puts us on the South Sydney side of the draw. And we get to the prelim, and I think
we
scratched through against Cowboys, where we were up 30-0, and they come back to 30 or something, or 32-30. It was so tight.
Yeah. And
we scraped through to the prelim. That was a little bit of a heart attack there, but we go up 12-0. Remember? Prelim against Bunnies, and then I think Piercy or Jimmy scores.
Yeah.
It would have been 18-0, but they call it back for a little knock on or something like that.
Yeah.
And that second half, we sort of just fall apart a bit, and we don't stick to our plan. And the Bunnies were ripe that year, sad to say.
Yeah, it's a tough one to admit, isn't it?
And they got us. They could beat us by 10 points, and they go on and win the premiership. And I remember walking off the field, and you know, you guys made a guard of honour, and massive respect to South. They did the same thing.
Yep.
And I remember walking off, and that's it. It's done. But I was comfortable with that decision, you know. And I'll ask you about your one too, because I was mentally ready. I was mentally ready to retire, without doubt. And even people, even now, they still ask me, "Do you miss playing?" I go, "No, I don't. I love the game, love watching it, love the Roosters to death." But I was ready to retire at the time that I retired. And it's, I suppose, when athletes retire, some people still want to get out there and play, and I think that's because they don't retire on their own terms. They don't have a little plan after footy, and we'll probably jump into that soon as well. But I was on my own terms. You know? I think that's an important thing. Yeah. And that was it, Orbs.
Yeah. I was a bit like you. I was on the 1 year deals.
Yep.
And then, you know, Robbo sort of said, "Mate, what do you want to do? The decision's totally up to you." I said, "Mate, I just want some time to think about it.
Yep.
I want to play. I want to get some good footy under my belt." And then the biggest thing for me was COVID. It was tough, mate. We were stuck in a bubble.
Yep.
Very strict. Obviously, I've got 2 young kids now. I can't go to my daughter's swimming lessons.
Yep. So that's when the tipping point.
It was like over time.
Yep.
And I just, all I wanted to do was like taste that success one more time.
Yep.
And
I thought personally that the COVID 8 weeks off, even though it was tough, as you just explained, it freshened the team up.
Yes.
And as you come out of that COVID and the comp restarted, I thought, boys, this could be the best thing that's happened to you guys, because you had a mental freshen up.
Yep.
You know, going hard for 3 years takes its toll mentally, without doubt, and physically.
Yeah.
And then you guys are on.
Yep.
You guys are on. So
but
through that period, when
me,
did you go to Robbo and went, "This is going to be my last"?
Yeah, for me, that period was actually a bit tougher. I lost my old man during that time.
Yeah, it was tough times.
So I really did freshen up, and that sort of hit me like a sledgehammer that last
for sure.
week before we were about to go back to training. So I took another few weeks off to to grieve and be with my family, and
Yep.
you know, a lot of things happened during that time that just went, mate. You need to relook at some things, and
Yep.
and I was really comfortable with the decision. I spoke to a lot of people,
Yep.
and one of them was obviously Robbo. He said, mate, it was awesome. He never pushed me.
No, same with me.
He waited for me to come,
Yep.
and I went to him and said, mate, I'm done. And
Yep.
he was he was really, really good to me and said, mate, that's good. We'll let's go out and let's do everything we can to make sure we send you out the best way we can. And
So let's go on to the record-breaking game, son.
yes,
Mate, proud moment. Obviously, what you just mentioned earlier with the old man, how sad that's been. Your mum and your brothers must have been hugely proud. I remember ringing you the week of.
Yeah.
And mate, we chatted for about an hour on the phone.
Yeah.
You know, it was a wonderful chat.
Yeah.
And I said, mate, and you were like, oh, you know, Mins, and I said, mate, don't worry about the 302. Don't worry about me.
Yeah.
You've deserved this your whole career. Go out, take it on, make sure you win it. It's a wonderful milestone game that no one will surpass.
Yeah. Mate, yeah, what a crazy week. Sort of going back, I got hurt pretty bad during the year. I played my 300.
Yeah.
Which was a huge occasion, really big for my family. I think maybe the next week I got myself into a bit of trouble. Sorry,
Was it wrist? No.
Yeah, I tried to tackle someone very poorly, and anyway, I ended up doing wrecking my wrist. Right,
Yeah.
it's anybody else's like at that stage or whatever is booked straight in for an operation.
Yep.
I already made the call that I was finished. There was no more for me.
Yeah.
It hadn't really indeed done before, and they sort of said, well, we can keep you going, but we're not really sure how long it's going to last or what can happen. And that was, that was really tough because I wasn't really training. I couldn't really train. I couldn't do too much. It was really frustrating for the back end of the year. But just that week, like you said, a lot of people got in contact with me. First, like Rico sent me some nice messages, a guy that you took the record off. And then I spoke to you, and I think one of the first things I said, mate, is if I could keep playing and not break this record, like I'll do it. I am embarrassed. Like for someone like me to do it, it should be, that record for me should have standed for a long time. But how good you were with like, mate, no, this is right. You've earned this. Like go
100%.
after it. Do what you need to do. Like you've seen what I've been through. Like we've played together. Like that made it so much more better for me. Like. I think you could probably tell how uncomfortable I was, like talking to you about it. But as soon as I hung up the phone to you, I felt so good about it.
Yeah.
Like I felt
that's good.
Yeah, I went, oh mate, he's like, yeah. I
Mate,
already knew you're a great dude, but you went to another level in my book just with how supportive you were, and so walking. So first of all, got to run out with a guard of honour by the guys, and. That'll be a moment that I'll never forget in footy. Like to be by yourself running out in the SCG, that was so cool, mate.
It's pretty special to have 300 game players that have been at the one club, isn't it? Like
so good.
Myself and Rico.
I'm a history buff for the Roosters.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, and you guys are far out. Like a legend to the game. The best players to ever wear our jersey, and. Somehow I was going to be tagged on the end of it. Like I was like, but that's how I felt about it.
You
I was
deserved
like,
it, mate.
how cool is that?
Yeah.
Another special moment, I ended up scoring a try. And
yeah, that's right.
Before the game, I never do this, but I just looked up to see where my family were sitting, and I caught them.
Bang, right there.
They were sitting in that corner, and I've just for a split second, have just gone, geez, I'd love to get one tonight over in that corner. And then I just stopped myself and went, no, come on, concentrate on the game. Like, you know what you need to do.
And the Orbsy got over.
And then, we had a little plan all week about a little move that Matty King organised for me and Joey Manu. And anyway, the opportunity came to get it on. And
how good's that? Because normally those planned moves don't come off.
Oh, they never work, do they? You think about it.
It's always that lib stuff.
But, man, I'd been dreaming about it. Like, for whatever reason, that's just what I like to do about this play.
Yeah.
And then we're in the right spot to do it. And I went, it's on. And Joe looked at me and goes, yeah. And I went, yeah, let's do it. But I was going to run this thing as hard as I could,
Yeah.
And Joey just put it on a platter for me, and I was like, oh, this is so hectic. And then my family was right there. The year we've had together.
Yeah, for sure.
My brothers, my mum, like it was a special moment for me that I would never forget. And I ended up getting another one. I fell on another ball and got a try.
That's right.
And we won the game pretty well. Another special moment was you, Nick, Rico, seeing you guys after a game was so cool.
It was
a
bit of a different presentation.
It was,
COVID,
but that's the way it was. But
Yeah.
seeing all you guys there and supporting me and the smile on your faces was something so hectic as well. Like,
that was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys felt during it and watching it, but.
Oh no, mate! I felt that first try, mate, and then looking up your family and because I walked past your family's box and said hello through the game before the start of the game actually.
Yeah.
And you can see that they were, so happy for you. You know what I mean?
Man, I'm starting to well up thinking about it. I'm just
All right, so let's move on to retirement then.
Yeah.
So, it's in any athlete that retires from long term in their desired sport, they're always focused on what they need to do, and sometimes they can forget about the planning of their career after.
Yep.
Tell us about your planning and what you're doing now, I suppose.
Yeah. So a couple of things come to mind. Like I think the clubs and guys like yourself and Fitz have created a path. If you stay at this club and do well for it, there's going to be opportunity for you to learn and still be involved with the club. So I had that in Tuck my last year. So I knew I was transitioning into a pretty cool role when I finished, which is the role I'm doing now with the recruitment. And the club was more than happy to take me on, which I'm really thankful for, as you've been to get those rewards. And one thing after another thing also came up as another business opportunity to start a gym with my brother, and he packed his family up after the old man passed away and said, "No, I'm going home. I'm going back to where we grew up, and we're going to start a gym." So that's that started off, and the Body Fit's been really good for us, and we've connected me and my family really closely because of it. And I can't help but think that my old man had something to do with it as well. So I was really excited for life after footy. It was a bit like you, with people ask me. How are you going? Do you miss it? Do you miss it? And I was like, mate, I love this. I'm like you, Roosters fan, love the footy, and I gave everything that I could. I had nothing left to give or anything. So, and I wanted this club to be that successful over the next few years, that I want to do everything I can off the field to help that happen. If I can help these young guys like you help me, then I want to do that. I don't want to see these guys lift the trophy and feel these guys are coming through and enjoy it with them. And mate, it's been awesome.
Mate, good, Hawks.